If you're thinking about buying a home in Westchester County, New York, and hopping over the state line to Connecticut is an option, I bet property tax has been at least part of the consideration. The way the two states tax real estate can be confusing, and much of the information on the internet only serves to make things worse. In this video, I'm going to break things down so you can decide which area is a better fit for you. If this is your first time watching the channel, my name's Vinci. I'm a realtor and I specialize in helping people relocate to Greenwich and the surrounding Connecticut towns. Let's start with Westchester, then I'll compare it to Greenwich while pointing out a few things that Greenwich does not include in their taxes so you can make a complete evaluation. There are three components of the tax rate in Westchester. The first part is the market value of the property. A local assessor determines the market value of the home and will update it periodically. The second part is the equalization rate. This is how the town adjusts for an increase or decrease in property values, or more likely to increase the taxes to cover an increase in the town's budget. The third part is the tax rate itself. To determine the tax rate, you add the county tax, town tax, school district tax, village tax, and special district taxes. Whew, yeah, that was a lot. Sound complicated? Well, I'm going to make it easy for you. But first, let's jump over to Greenwich to see how real estate taxes are calculated there. Again, there are three components in Greenwich, with the first being the market value of the home, which is updated periodically by a town property assessor. By the way, if you think that your property taxes in Greenwich are too high, we have another video about contesting your taxes in Greenwich, and I will leave you that link in the description below. The second component in Greenwich is to calculate the appraised value. The appraised value is simply 70% of the market value. The third component is the mill rate. The mill rate varies depending on the area and can be adjusted over time to allow the town to increase or decrease taxes to cover the town budget. I promised that I'd make it easy for you, so let's break it down in simple terms so you can compare the two areas. Then I'm going to point out a few things that Greenwich leaves out of its taxes, again, so that you can make a complete evaluation. If you like this video so far, do us a favor and subscribe. We are constantly making new content on the area. First, let's go back to Westchester. While it's not practical to figure out every combination of tax rates in every town, I've averaged the most likely scenarios for the municipalities of Rye, Harrison, Mamaroneck, Scarsdale, Eastchester, North Castle, and White Plains. What you're going to find is that these municipalities average an effective tax rate of 2.57%. So a $1 million home in one of these towns should have taxes around $25,700 per year. If you're looking for a home at a different price point, simply multiply by the millions. In other words, for a $5.5 million home, multiply by 5.5, and that should give you an idea of what your taxes will be. By the way, the Rye tax rate was the lowest, and the Eastchester tax rate was the highest, with the other municipalities falling closer to the middle. Be aware that tax rates do change over time, and when you work with us, we will happily give you guidance on this topic. Now, let's jump back to Greenwich and see how it compares. Averaging the typical mill rates in town, Greenwich has an effective tax rate of 0.819%. So a $1 million home should have taxes around $8,190. If you haven't been exposed to Greenwich, this may be a surprise, but this is fairly accurate. If you look up the taxes, you'll find that to be the case. By the way, we have another video showing you 3 more ways you can save taxes by moving to Connecticut. Again, we'll go ahead and leave that link in the description below. Greenwich, however, does not include trash pickup in their taxes. You'll also pay city sewer and city water bills if your home does not have a septic or well. For homes with city sewer and water, considering adding about $1 per square foot to cover these costs, but no less than $2,000 per year. Greenwich also has another tax advantage when compared to Westchester. Currently, you can write off $10,000 of your state property tax on your federal tax return. Any state property tax above this amount essentially is double taxation. You are paying tax on tax. So keeping your property tax low has an additional advantage. Another thing to know is that you may have higher income taxes in Connecticut, so go ahead and check with your tax advisor before making any decisions. And of course, that always goes for all tax considerations, including everything I'm telling you here in this video. When you add it all up, you can see why so many of the smartest minds in finance end up right here in Greenwich.